Now, coming to the day one of the surgery, I got hospitalized the very first day. Nothing much happened. Even the intravenous line was not put in. I'm very much scared of injections and those things. So even that was not put in. And the first thing was I was told that I went through all those pre-surgical blood works and X-rays and all those things again. And the tests was done. Everything turned out to be normal, and I was told that after 12 o'clock I was supposed to eat nothing. I was not even supposed to drink water. So whatever eating and whatever food and water intake, it was allowed only up to 12 p.m. Indian time. And after 12 p.m. I was not supposed 12 a.m. sorry. After 12 a.m. I was not supposed to have anything. And then in the morning, around 8 o'clock, so mm, this was all. Then coming to the second day, which was the actual day of the surgery. So now, in the early morning, 7 o'clock, I was woken up. I was given some medicines. Some 2 tablets were given to me, and a small injection was given to me to test some reactivity on my skin or something, I don't know. And also prior to that, on the day one, also the doctors had checked on my skins if I had any issues in the skin, any cuts or any boils or something. Yes, I did have a boil, and that was almost in a dried up condition, but not fully dried though. But doctor said no, it is okay, it was all okay. And after that, the first day, like I woke up at 7 o'clock, and I took my bath and everything. I got ready. I was much scared, and then I went ahead for the surgery. So I was taken to the room. Over there I was put in the IV line first, and after when the IV line was put, then obviously they would have given the injections and everything. The process started. Anesthesia, our anesthetist was really good. I told her that I did not want the IV line in my right hand so that I could operate my mobile. Otherwise, I would have felt so frustrated in the hospital. I'm a mobile addict, so that's what. And she happily and then even there were other sisters, other nurses also who really helped me to calm down. And I held her hand while it was being put, and really did not hurt that much the way I had thought of it. So that was it. And then I was in a really deep sleep. I don't know what happened. After I woke up, I don't know, I was dreaming like I was roaming somewhere around in a beautiful natural place with the animals and everything. I was. So while I was gaining consciousness, I opened my eyes. I could all see that, okay, there are 2 to 3 lights, focusing on my face. And I asked, am I in the hospital? I had absolutely forgotten in the unconscious state that I was in the hospital. So sisters laughed at me and they said, yes, you are, and you are recovering. So, and then I don't remember anything. And then I was taken to the recovery room. My parents got to see me. Dr. Bharat Patel, he met my parents immediately after the surgery. He explained the things, the procedures and everything that took place. And also he showed them the immediate photograph that he had taken of my back, the post-operative, particularly the screws and rods that have been implants that have been put, and explained them all the things. My parents then went happily to the room. I was then shifted into the recovery room. Recovery room was really very cold. Oh my god. And initially, yes, while I was recovering from this anesthesia, initially it felt like my legs were trembling, my thighs were trembling, even my waist was trembling badly, and as if I had no control over it. And I was like, oh god, seems like the paralysis is happening. That's what initially I thought. And then I calmed myself down, let it be. Anyways, I was not able to walk, so it doesn't make much of a difference. Just that I was able to little bit of get up and something, but does not make much of a difference. So that's what I thought, and I calmed down myself. Then after that, as I started gaining more and more consciousness, immediately, obviously the foot pain which was there throughout the day, that used to be there, that had immediately gone. So I was like, finally I'm a bit relaxed, when I opened my eyes and I shifted to the room. And that is when I fully opened my eyes, and I was like, wow, my legs are quite relaxed right now. And that was under the anesthesia effect. Though it's not here as returned yet, but I'm telling that under the anesthesia effect, I was not realizing any kind of pain. So it felt really good. and I was talking to my mom, I was talking to the people. I did record a video at that moment when I was under the half anesthesia effect. Yes, the face was feeling swollen. I felt like a sore throat, maybe because of the anesthesia tube or something was put. That's what I got to know. My lips were swollen and it felt like a bee had stung. It was not hurting as such, but it felt like that it has got some fat over it or something like that. So all those things I went through, and then gradually everything settled down. But as anesthesia effect, then by the time of 3 o'clock I was told not to take anything. In 3 o'clock a little bit of sip of water was given to me, and then they checked if I was getting any nausea or any vomiting. That did not happen. So by the time of 4 o'clock I took my first soup. So that's what a little bit of it I took, and then I felt much better. Actually, I was waiting for that time. But yes, as the anesthesia effect tapered off, it felt like a stone had been put into my waist, and I was unable to even lift. I was unable to turn, and it even felt like it was cramped sort of a thing, as if it was trying to pull it inside or something like that. It was feeling. Oh God, and it was like it felt really painful. I was trying to turn, but I could not turn. I was like trying to gather all the willpower to turn, and to turn on the bed from one side to another for relief. And yes, Dr. Mihir Bapat came to meet me with his team of Dr. Ashutosh and Dr. Satish. So they all comforted me. They all told me that yes, the surgery has been really successful. Particularly Dr. Mihir Bapat's confidence is like, oh my God. He fills you up with the confidence a lot, and you also feel like, oh my God, I can do anything now. So he told me that I should not be turning like a log. Rather, I should be lifting my hips up a bit and then taking a turn. That's normally the way people do. So I was actually trying that, but somehow I don't know. It was hurting a lot at that point of time, because as the anesthesia effect was tapering off, I started feeling the weight. I started feeling the cramps, and it felt a little bit like a punch has been given on that particular suture area, like that it felt. So that was all. So after that, yes, by the time 8 o'clock, 8:30, I started having severe pain, and I felt like, then I started crying. I said I really need painkillers. So it was scheduled for 10 o'clock, but since I was having too much of pain, so by 9 o'clock I was given the painkillers. And then I felt some relief, but still turning was like requiring a lot of efforts in turning to right or left, or even all. And yes, a lot of you would be having the questions that if I was lying on my back. Yes, I was absolutely lying down on my back, and it was very well dressed, so no issues on that part. Yes, it feels a pressure kind of a thing feels on it when you are lying on it, but still I would say not as bad as I had earlier imagined it to be. So this was the first day, and I had then my painkiller, and then I slept for a while. But again, the thing is, what happens is when you sleep on one side for a longer period of time, again starts hurting. So yes, and my my thighs, they were like kind of feeling very heavy, and as if it was stamped with something. That's how it felt like, and that's a normal thing. It happens because some bolsters are put under the thighs during our surgery. That's what I got to know. So I think the doctors can explain on this part better, but that is how it was. And then it gradually, it's now perfectly okay. So that is how it had been the very first day. And yes, the night, sleeping, I would say I could not sleep properly, because on one side, out of fear, I was just lying on one side, and then it started hurting even more badly if you're lying for a period of more than an hour or two or something like that on just one side. So then you want to take a turn to the other side, and then again it started hurting more. So, and it was requiring a lot of willpower to change, but then you have to somehow lift yourself up, try to gather the courage, take a turn. So that is when your sleep keeps on getting intermittently breaking, so you are unable to sleep properly. So first night was like that. Now I'll cover about the day 2 in my next video.